Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm SocietySucks and today I'm checking out This is the Loneliest Place in the Universe by Kurzgesagt. I'm assuming they're going to talk about just the big voids in space like Booty's void, which has pretty much nothing in it, which is a weird phenomenon. So yeah, that's probably what they're going to talk about. But let's see.
The vast majority of the cosmos is voids. Gigantic, unfathomably large spaces of empty nothingness. Bubbles of eternal night stretching hundreds of millions of light years, almost entirely devoid of galaxies, stars,
That is terrifying. It just has nothing in it.
The loneliest places in existence. Voids are not just the absence
How
of
can
stuff,
there just be
but weird
nothingness?
worlds of darkness that are growing, drifting, colliding, and merging with each other. Inside them, space itself is stretched violently, and it's almost impossible to enter them. Simply put, voids are weird and scary, but they sculpt the entire universe and may ultimately decide its fate. Today, we know of over 8,000 voids and supervoids, and we keep discovering more. No matter how large a cluster or supercluster of galaxies gets, there always seems to be an even larger void nearby. Let's jump off the cosmic cliff and drop into the heart of cosmic nothingness. The loneliest place in the universe. You're zooming away from Earth at thousands of times the speed of light, leaving our solar system and our solar neighborhood behind. Now we see the entire Milky Way with its 200 billion stars and dozens of dwarf galaxies.
That's crazy to think about. 200 billion stars in just the Milky Way.
Giant Andromeda and its own swarm of satellite galaxies. We're now moving 1 million times faster than the speed of light, seeing the local group of over 50 galaxies woven together by gravity, rivers of gas, and invisible scaffolds of dark matter. This is our pocket of the universe, 10 million light years across. No human will ever leave it, except for you, apparently. As we zoom away faster, we see the Virgo supercluster, a colossal wall of more than 2,000 galaxies spread over rough.
In a way, this right here kind of looks like continents on Earth. Like this would be South America, North America would just be gone. This here would be Europe and Asia. This would be Australia. Africa is also just gone, but you know, and this would be the British, while this is the rest of Europe.
Roughly 100 million light years. Careful.
This kind of looks like
right on the edge of the cosmic cliff where the true deep darkness begins. The local void, a gigantic empty bubble 200 million light years across. If it was a bright thing and
those
not
numbers are
absolute
just
darkness,
incomprehensible.
It would fill 40% of the night sky we see from Earth. All around us are dozens of such superclusters and gigantic voids filled with suffocating emptiness. You're now traveling towards the greatest and emptiest nothing in existence, right into the center of the Boötes supervoid. A cosmic desert right into the center of the Boötes supervoid.
Boötes. I always called it the Booties.
300 million light years wide. So gigantic it should contain thousands of galaxies.
And yet it
But
has
instead,
nothing.
What do you see? You're surrounded by perfect darkness, the most absolute blackness the human mind can conceive. There is no up or down, no motion, nothing to orient yourself. There's not a single sign that the outside universe even exists. It's an inescapable prison, and this isn't some exotic corner of the cosmos. This is how the vast majority of the universe feels to human eyes. Just silent blackness without any movement. Everywhere, forever.
Just complete and utter nothingness.
There is something mysterious hiding in the dark, faint tendrils of dark matter, penetrating into the void like cosmic lichen. A miniature echo of the much larger forest of dark matter filaments that forms the scaffold of galaxies and galaxy clusters outside the void. And at their tips, we find faint bluish specks in the ocean of darkness. Void galaxies, lonely fireflies, unable to light up the night. The rarest galaxies we know, very isolated, very lonely. a universe of bubbles.
So there actually is something in the
Before we
void?
could look deep into space, astronomers thought we lived in a uniform cosmos with galaxies spread out evenly. But instead, we found that
Well, no,
galaxies,
that's not the
cosmic
case.
gas, and dark matter were arranged into a vast cosmic web. A recurring pattern of sheets and filaments organized around enormous empty gaps, meeting at dense knots with galaxy clusters and superclusters. But this structure is not static. It just seems to be because the distances between galaxies are so incredibly vast. In reality, galaxies shoot through space at speeds of millions of kilometers per hour. They're on collision courses, orbiting each other, moving towards the center of larger galaxy clusters millions of light years away. But they always seem to stick to the rims of voids like reflections of light on soap bubbles, which is kind of weird. If they're this dynamic, shouldn't a galaxy shoot into a void occasionally? Well, voids are actually
theoretically,
extremely hard to enter for
it
galaxies
should.
from the outside, at least naturally, because gravity becomes weird at their edges and even weirder deeper inside them. If you didn't know better, you might think voids spit out anything trying to get inside, pushing galaxies to the edge. The way gravity works is that everything with mass in the universe attracts every other thing with mass. And since there's almost no mass inside, the cosmic web of galaxy superclusters on their edges are pulling things out of voids. The emptier a void is, the harder gravity is pulling on what remains. It's really like a tug of war where one side isn't even trying. Over time, voids are really only getting even emptier, and the walls and knots around them denser and brighter. Would it be hard to fly into a cosmic void with a spaceship? Well, not technically. The hardest part is escaping the gravity
Would
of
it
your
even
home
be
galaxy.
possible?
It also doesn't make much sense because what exactly do you want to visit inside a void? It
I mean,
makes
there's
sense
nothing
to fly
there.
into a void if you want to hide, like really, really hide. But what cosmic horror would be scary enough for a civilization to try to escape into a cosmic void? Galaxies in the crowded cluster regions like our Milky Way
I mean, technically
are very
going into the
active.
void would just
Since
be
its neighbor's gravity
certain
tugs
death.
and pulls at it, they collide and merge. Void galaxies are so isolated that they're aging in slow motion. They tend to be smaller, bluer, and full of gas, birthing new stars slower and calmer. So void galaxies could be the last places that will stay habitable in our dying universe. The last star in the universe will likely be born here. So maybe in 100 trillion years or so, a desperate alien race will embark on an impossible journey.
I wonder
to
how much
stretch
of this
their
is just
existence
theoretical.
Just a bit longer inside a void galaxy.
Probably most of it.
There's one more thing that makes voids unique places: dark energy. The mysterious force that most scientists think is accelerating the expansion of the universe and will ultimately cause its demise.
Although obviously some of
We
this
can't
has to be
see
at
dark
least
energy
somewhat
do anything inside
confirmed.
our galaxy or inside clusters because there's too much stuff putting things together via gravity, but we can see its effects inside voids. Here, dark energy blows up the bubbles of nothing. This is where the acceleration of cosmic expansion becomes visible. As voids are getting larger and larger, they're breaking the structure of the universe. The beautiful galaxy filaments are slowly being ripped apart. As the emptiness
Luckily, none of us
approaches,
will live long
walls
enough
of
to see that
thousands of
happen.
Galaxies are thinned out and pulled towards the edges, attracted by much denser regions at the margins, giving space to the emptiness of two void bubbles becoming one. In the far, far future, supervoids will take over the observable universe, crushing clusters and expanding further and further until the entire observable universe is nothing more than a gigantic void of nothingness, the loneliest place in existence.
Terrifying. Well, that's my daily dose of existential crisis. But then again, I suppose none of this really matters because none of us are going to live long enough to really even see this happen. I wouldn't think so anyway. What are the chances of me or anybody else watching this video surviving until the year 2100? Probably pretty low. I mean, I was born 2005, so I would be 95. No chance I'm living to that age. So yeah, we can really just ignore it because it's not like we're ever gonna see it. This will happen long after all of us are gone and probably long after humanity goes extinct. So no need to worry. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. If you want to see more reactions, check out this video right here. And with that, I hope I'll see you in the next video.